What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. There's not a tip out. Bear with me. Hey, easy. I have a ton of tips coming out, but not this Tuesday. Here, you want tip Tuesday? Don't play for 2 weeks straight every day, multiple rounds every day. That's a bad thing. Take it from somebody that just played well below what he's capable of because he was dead tired and didn't drink enough of this during those 2 weeks because he was so busy doing this stuff that he forgot to take care of his own body. There's your tip Tuesday. But no, I wanted to do at least a quick video because before I take a few days off, I'm actually going to take the next 3 days off, like just nothing. At most, I'm just going to be hitting the putting basket outside just to, keep the putting stroke going, but I'm going to take the next 3 days off. So I wanted to do a quick update on what's been going on, what's in the bag, what am I learning, what am I liking, what am I not liking. And I can tell you right now, I have way too much plastic in this bag, but let's go over some of it. All right, so first I'm gonna unload the top pocket because these are the discs that are either I throw a ton or I'm still on the fence on what I'm throwing. So let's unload the top pocket. Here, we'll just start with the putting putter since I didn't talk about this last time. I am putting with the Electron Firm Ions. The Ions are a great beaded putter, and that firm plastic, I like very stiff putters, and it is very, very stiff, but it actually has, it's weird, it feels very stiff. The rim where it sits in the digit of my hand feels very stiff, and I love that. And then the flight plate gives me just a little bit of give, but not a ton. But again, with the rim and the bead, it feels nice and stiff and nice and consistent. And as we all know, when you're putting, consistent's key. The Ion for other brands, it's going to be close to a Judge, KCA VR style. I did a review on these actually, gosh, 3 years ago. It wasn't a great review, and I'm sorry. But yeah, Ion, that's my putting putters. Absolutely love them right now. Let's move on to the other putters that I'm throwing. I have a few. I am throwing the Envy, the Electron Soft Envy. And yes, this says this disc is yellow. Long-time subscribers know that a certain yellow disc, I love that yellow disc, and this is my new yellow disc. So, what does the soft, so this is the Cosmic Electron plastic, so it's got a little burst to it. I do apologize if I blow the camera out here. It's got a little burst to it, a lot of burst down there. It is really beat up, and it goes on a hyzer, flips up, and if I pop it, it'll go on a hyzer, flip up, and just drift to the right and finish like that. That's all it does. It's an amazing upshot and wood golf thrower. I won't drive off the tee unless it's a lot shorter hole, like 250 or in, and as maybe in tailwinds I might throw it. Definitely not going to throw it in a headwind. It's more of a touch disc, and I really love it for that. Up next, I have two of them in the bag at the moment, which this one's actually coming out of the bag. So I have the Cosmic Electron, or Cosmic Neutron, sorry, Entropy. This is actually going to come out of the bag for a little while. It's really stable, it's really new. I just kind of want to set it to the side for the beat-in Neutron version of it. This is a lot straighter. It's not as dumpy, I should say. It doesn't just hyzer dump out. I can work it a little bit more, and it's more of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to end up sticking this in the bag and then shoving the Cosmic Neutron up top so I can just throw it and start beating it in because it just needs to get beat in. That's all it is. But yeah, so the Neutron Entropy, it is that pig, harp, overstable approach putter, mid combo disc. It is great for, I'm really loving it for sidearm up shots, or if I need to control a distance. If I need to throw 250, 275, and I don't want a really hard aggressive skip, but I also don't want to go too far, I'm definitely going to reach for the Entropy. If I want to throw dead straight, all day, every day. Right now, I'm throwing the Electron Proxy. Actually, as I'm recording this video, I might cut in, probably not because I said I'm gonna take a couple of days off, but actually right now I have a Neutron Soft and a Neutron Proxy coming. I think that's what's coming. And I also have an Ohm coming. We'll talk about those in a later video, but right now this Electron Proxy is my go-to. I gotta throw straight, and if I pop it, it's gonna get some turn to it, and then it's gonna finish pretty straight. This guy's really good. I noticed that the Electron plastic, just like any baseline plastic, does beat in a little bit, so it was a little more stable when I first got it. And I've thrown it a lot. Like you can see, it's been used and abused because I love throwing putters. But it's pretty straight, and I like it for that. Proxy. I like it, actually, I think I might like it more than Envy's. But speaking of Envy's, here it is. The Plasma Envy. How did I like it? I threw it in both tournaments. 350 and in? Yes, 350 and in. It surprised me. I throw putters a lot, and I throw them pretty hard, but this one will not turn over. This one is pretty stable, and I know, if I can remember, I'll post it down here. Somebody told me that the Plasma Envies fly like a mid. And that intrigued me, so I went out and got 2 of them, because that sounds amazing. Absolutely fly like a mid. They go forever. They will hold that hyzer from start to finish, and they will not think about turning over. I'd be interested to see how it beats in this plasma plastic, but so far, this thing goes almost as far as all my mids, and it's more controllable because it's a putter. It's kind of a freaky disc, and I really like it. I have 2 of them now. All right, what do I got up here? Okay, so these guys are going to be the I'm still testing phase. I have a Trace in Plasma. I also have another one in the bag at the moment. I cycled between the 2 of them because I don't know which one I like yet. But the Trace in general, I'm kind of still on the fence. I'm still trying to find that distance driver. It's not quite, you know, high, like I'm not getting maximum distance out of it, but I'm getting pretty good distance out of it. And I'm still debating if that's a good thing or not. It's still too early to tell with the Trace, but that's something I'm testing out. I got hooked up with a few octanes. This Eclipse octane is pretty beat in. It's a hyzer flip to straight, goes forever. Pretty good. Just don't know if it's gonna go in the bag yet. And then I have this Proton octane that it's a hyzer flip and turn. It actually is beat in pretty good. It's a little lighter weight, I believe, or it's just really beat in. I cannot remember. Got a good heartbeat. I don't have a lot to say about these because that's why they're in the top of the bag. I'm still learning them, but I wanted to show you because this bag's got so much storage. My buddy David hooked me up with a Volt. That is actually Sarah Holcomb's signature. She did a clinic not too far from here, and he went and got it. This particular Volt, though, it's kind of understable. Even at 174 is still pretty understable. I did not expect that from the Volt. I thought it would be just a little more stable, but maybe it's just me. Maybe it's Maybelline. Anyway, sorry. But we'll take a look at it again. I got to revisit it. This is the only Volt I have, so I have nothing to compare it to. But there's another Fairway that I'm really loving, so I haven't been giving this enough attention. So that, and then finally the Photon is a hit and miss. It's either the Photon or the Trace. I don't know which one I like more. Shout out to Daniel. I still have it, buddy. I'll get it back to you eventually, I promise. I'm in the fence. Trace, Photon, I don't know how similar they are, like, to the person that has a ton of experience with the plastic, but for me, they're pretty similar. And I don't know which one I like more. I'm still on the fence. So those are all the unsure discs. Sorry, that was probably 10 minutes of rambling about unsure discs. Let's go into the bag. That's what we want to know. What am I actually in the bag, and I'm confident it's going to stay there for a while? Well, let's take a look. We'll start on the side. This is the easy button. This is the most overstable disc in my bag. This is ridiculous. Thank you, Cruise. It's called a Limit. It's a 14.5 speed. And the Limit is, well, it's overstable. That's all it is. It comes out of my hand. It does this. And what's funny is when it does this, it hits and then rainbow flares like 40 feet. It is a crazy disc with a crazy huge rim. It's in that bag for that one-off shot when I need to get extreme left or extreme right. I don't know if it's going to stay, but so far it's just there, and I'm having fun showing people and letting people throw it because it's hilarious watching the reaction. So let's keep going on the stable side. You guys have seen it already. The panic is definitely going to be there. I'm going to get a couple more of these because this is a workhorse driver. We have been a lot windier recently around this area, and I can just count on this to go. It just goes straight, it won't turn over, and it dependably finishes on hyzer. I absolutely love the feel of it, and I definitely will never lose this disc unless I like throw it in the water or something, because this is the brightest disc I've ever seen. Also in the Neutron plastic. You guys have seen the gray. You know how much I love the gray octane, how much it goes boom, 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 boom. Well, I got hooked up with another one, and it also goes boom, 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 boom. And it's actually just a tad, like that much more stable than the gray. So it's like a perfect 1-2 punch. These things go forever. If you got a 400-foot arm or something close to it, go grab you an octane. If you can get one of these older runs, holy smokes. Get one that sounds like this. It's got the heart of a champion. They go forever. Octanes, those are definitely not going anywhere. I say that now. Let's see what happens in a year. The Wave. The Wave is, it's that disc that you probably won't throw a ton, but when you do, you're so happy you have it. It is pretty understable for a high-speed driver. It is a hyzer flip, goes up and it holds anhyzer, 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 and just finishes flat. You're not going to be throwing this into a headwind, but if you got a tailwind, and these will go further than the octane if I have the proper tailwind. It just goes. I'm also working on sidearming with it because sidearming understable discs is awesome, and you should do it. Oh, there's the other trace. So this is the current trace that's in the bag. It's also in plasmic. P for plasma. It is stable compared to the other trace. So I'm kind of, like I said, I'm on the fence about the traces. So far it's in the bag right now. It had a green leaf on it. It was kind of ugly. It's such a pretty disc. Sorry. I'm not sold on the trace. I'm not sold on the trace. Recommend a good plastic or a disc like the trace. Let me know in the comments, because I'm not sold on the trace. Up next, we're going to go back to some beef. We're into the fairways, and that is the Fireball. I have two of them at the moment. I have the light 166 that we started the whole thing with, and then I have this new one. Thank you, Daniel, for finding it for me. And they're both in the Proton. This one is a 172. These things are beefy fairways. There's not a ton to say about them other than they are beef. They go left if you throw them on a backhand, and your right hand, they go right if you're on a lefty. They feel amazing too. Very Lucid X Felon type feel to them. What do we got next? We going into the the disc. I always have. I giggle when I look at the speed of it. The 6.5 speed, the Crave. The Crave for Axiom is hilarious, and when I describe it as a 6.5 speed, I find that funny, and I absolutely love them. That's why I have two of them in here now. Thank you again, David, hooking me up with the Glow Proton, the Eclipse. It is an interesting disc. It flies like a 9 or a 10 speed out of your hand. It looks like it's going to go miles, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I am a 6.5 speed, and it just settles. A long mid is exactly what I would call these, a long mid. It's got a really flat top to it. The disc feels really small. I always joke it, and I say it kind of feels like a toy, but in the woods, I absolutely am throwing this all day, every day. It's easy distance, easy control. I have a ton of fun doing it. Speaking of the faster disc, this is the Wrath. This is the one that I was recommended to be my workhorse in the woods when I wanted to throw hard and have a defendable fade. For the most part, that's what it's doing. I think in the plasma plastic, it's a little less stable, and I think I might need to find it in a different plastic just to get a little more stability out of it. But I absolutely love the feel of the rim, and I'm almost positive it's a 9-speed. I can't remember. Future Rob, let me know. It still goes every bit of 400, and that's kind of crazy, but it'll do it on just like a laser beam, and that's awesome. I'm really enjoying that. The Tesla, you guys remember how I said I didn't know if I was going to like keeping this in the bag or not like it? It's still in the bag. I have learned to throw it for certain type shots, very felon firebirdish type shots, and I'm really liking it for distance control on a sidearm. It's really flat and it feels really good for a sidearm, and I've been using it for that reason. And I also got hooked up with a Proton version of it, which I need to look into throwing more. I always end up just grabbing this, and I don't really give this one a try. But it's in there as a backup, which is not good to have a backup that you don't try. There's another tip for Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Insanity, hyzer flip turnover, or just throwing if I want to throw a hyzer flip turn that just holds all the way to the ground, or if I just want to throw an anhyzer that just holds all the way in the woods, or if I need to throw, if I need to power down a little bit, get a little further than my mids will, maybe even a little further than my crave, with a little more control, I'm just going to go up to the Insanity. It reminds me of my the crave, but just a little faster, and I absolutely love that. Not quite as stable as the crave. The crave's got a little stability, while this definitely does not. On to the mids. Last ones. The deflector, it's in. It's not going anywhere. It's a workhorse mid. It goes left, it goes right, and that's it. There's nothing straight about it. It is beef, 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 and I mean, everybody's got to have a really overstable mid, and the deflector is definitely it. The Matrix. The Matrix is almost never thrown backhand. For some reason, I just don't gel with it on a backhand, but I really, 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 really love sidearming it. So that's what it comes out to be. If I just need a really straight sidearm, I'm going with the Matrix. If I want to backhand a mid really hard, the Reactor. The Reactor goes forever. It rivals my fairways. It definitely goes forever. I'm just not sure if getting it in a different plastic will make it even better, because right now it's pretty stable for what I wanted it to be. I'm sure it will beat in and be great. I just need to beat it in. The past couple courses I've played have been a lot of distance driver throws, so I haven't got a chance to really throw this much in the tournament play, but I'm wondering, you guys let me know in the comment section, if I get it in a different plastic, will it be just a tick less stable? I'm not talking understable, I'm talking like just a little less stable. Let me know. Other than that, it's amazing. And this bad boy here. This disc, I told you guys from the get-go, was not going in the bag. It's a domey mid, and I don't like domey mids. It's in the bag. I put it in the bag today to have some work with it, and it's the mid that I've been missing for my past 2 tournaments. It's the mid that I can just throw hard, and it's just going to go straight and finish straight. If I throw it really hard, it's going to go straight with a little turn. The Reactor and the Matrix won't do that for me at the stage that they're currently in. This will. So I've learned to not love it, but I've learned to use it, and it's kind of growing on me as a really cool mid. I don't think it's gonna go as far as the Reactor. I don't know if it's just, if it doesn't have the glide that the Reactor has, but it definitely has more control, in my opinion. So far, this is a very controllable workhorse. This is definitely the longer putter, the true mid that if I want the putter flight, but I want to throw mid, this is what it is. So yeah, that was an extremely long video, and I do apologize, but that's kind of been what's going on. that is this week's update on what's in the bag. I probably won't have any throws with any of the discs right now because, like I said, I've been recommended to take a few days off because I've been overdoing it, and my last tournament showed I shot 30 or something points below my rating. It was not good. Not drinking enough of this, and I'm going too hard. I was going too hard. I was too excited. I was like a kid in a candy store, trying out all the new flavors. So I needed to take a couple of days off. So that's just a quick update for me. I will see you guys at the end of the week. I am running a tournament here at UWF. That's where I am. And then after that, we are off to Mobile, Alabama to do the Smackdown. So I have to take a few days off so I can start getting back into throwing shape to get back into tournament form, because I only got a week off and then we're back right into another tournament. Yeah. That's 20 minutes of Rec Rob rambling about MVP. See you guys next time. Remember, be better than yesterday.